What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mood616 here, and I'm finally back with another album update here. It's been, I think, about 3 months since I did my last one, so I figured this is all the stuff I've accumulated over the last 3 months, which I've actually had this sitting here ready to go for probably the last month to do. Haven't really picked up much in the last 3 weeks or whatever. Still waiting on a few things to come in from 2017, but most of the stuff is older. I picked up a few things from 2017 on CD, and most of the stuff is like older, just older albums and stuff. I decided I'm going to start doing just vinyl updates after I get this out of the way and put on the shelf and stuff like that. So just be on the lookout for the vinyl updates, because I have been picking up a lot of stuff over the last few months, and it's just a lot easier to separate them and do it like that. So without further ado, let's get right into this this update here. Chars. All right. I separated this into 80s, 90s, and 2000s and the brand new stuff. Just my OCD, that's just the way I do things. First up here, I got Sonic's first album from 1986. I don't know why I never had this. I never upgraded this, had it on tape for years. Finally got around to getting this. Pretty good stuff. It's actually not my favorite Sonic album. I like their second album a little bit more. But yeah, I dig it though. Prince Paul, Daddy-O, Delight. Good shit, man. Pretty cool stuff. It's kind of a nice addition to get though, because it's got some bonus beats and some remixes and shit on there, so kind of cool. I'm gonna start stacking shit over here. Next up here, we got MC Sha D, Greatest Hits. This came out in 98, but this is pretty much all stuff from the 80s. In fact, actually his second album, every song off his second album is actually on this record. Pretty bizarre. If you're not familiar with MC Sha D, he's the guy that sampled the Pink Panther theme song, so pretty funny stuff, but just never owned any MC Sha D. Pretty cool stuff, but he was signed to Luke Skywalker's label back in the day, so you kind of got an idea of what his stuff's going to sound like. Grandmaster Flash, Da Dot Boom Bang, and even more. This was such a random find from 1987. Got this for a couple bucks. I was like, man, I can't pass this up, man. You don't come across Grandmaster Flash records very often. In fact, you can actually get the vinyl of this for really damn cheap, but I came across this for a couple bucks. I was like, why not? It's pretty good. It's got some moments of cheesiness on it and stuff, but it's pretty fun though. Pretty fun. So that was kind of a cool find, Grandmaster Flash. And last up here for the 80s stuff here, I grabbed DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. First record, Rock the House from 87. 88. Just never had this one. I used to have this on tape years ago. CD went out of print such a long time ago, and I finally got around to getting this. Got a really good deal on it and paid like $7 for it. So whatever. It's my OCD. I just need to fill in the collection. But I actually dig this, man. There's actually some tracks on here. Pretty fun. I mean, say what you will about Will Smith back in the day. Still pretty fun. So that's the 80s stuff. Let's get into the 90s with a record that I have been after for so long. Got a great deal on this. Couldn't pass it up. And that's the Mexicans with Zigzag. Yes, look at that shit right there. Fucking awesome. Yeah, some Latino West Coast hip hop. Pretty fucking dope. Beats are awesome on here. It's just full of bangers, man. It's probably a really good album to just roll around and listen to and shit like that. It's that kind of music, but pretty cool stuff, man. The Mexicans need to get their other album now. Finally upgraded this, man. I've had the tape for years and years, and it's Duck Down Presents. Yeah, just Duck Down Presents compilation record of, you know, all the artists and stuff. We got OGC, Black Moon, Representatives are on here. Everyone's on here, so Helter Skelter and shit like that. Pretty cool stuff. Actually dig this a lot, man. I was listening to this the other day, and it's really dope, man. There's some really dope tracks on here. Forgot how good this was, actually. So yeah, good shit. Finally got my hands on this Micronauts record, Return of the Travelers, 1996. I believe this actually came out in supposed to come out in 97. Officially got released in 2003. Very cool, dope indie underground hip hop, really good stuff. Apparently this album was all recorded like in one night and all on one takes and shit like that. Pretty interesting stuff, because if you listen to them, these guys weren't fucking up a lot, man. They went in the studio and just kind of did their thing. Apparently they were under like a lot of pressure. They were in a shitty situation. There was just not a good spot to be recording and stuff. So pretty cool. Happy to get this in the collection. Really awesome. Don't sleep on the Micronauts, man. Really good album. Next up here we got Delinquent Habits' second album, Here Comes the Horns. Not as good as their first one, but still it's got like that total Delinquent Habits, you know, Spanish sound. It's very, very Spanish. It's got, you know, all the Spanish horns and things that are going on in there. Pretty fun stuff. Like I said, not as good as their first record, but it's pretty good, man. You got Sendog on here on a few tracks again. Yeah, Mellow Man Ace is even on a track on here too. Pretty cool. I dig it. And next up here, this is actually quite funny because I've been searching for this album for so long. It's been written in my notebook forever, absolutely ever. And I end up finding the vinyl for dirt cheap. I got the vinyl for like $7, and because the CD always went for stupid money. Now I found this online and it said CD single for this, you know, for a single. And I was like, what? I didn't know that they had any singles on CD of this. So I took a chance and purchased it. It was only like $3. Sure as shit, it actually came and it was the album, Joint Ventures. Talked about this on the podcast. I actually reviewed the vinyl, but lo and behold, I found the CD after years of search, and it used to go for like $30. And I was like, nah, fuck, I'm not paying $30 for this album. Very cool to find the CD or the vinyl and then the CD right after for even cheaper. So that was a fucking score, listed as a single CD. So that's why it was so cheap. Score. Next up here, finally got this one on CD. It's been years and years since I've actually listened to this record until I got it again. And that is Maestro Fresh West's Maestro Zone. Such a dope album, man. On the jazz tip, conducting things. There's lots of good shit, man. He's so hard on this record. He just comes so fucking hard on these beats, man. It's just really good shit. Great record. Really, really underrated Maestro Fresh West record. The Canadian Wayne Gretzky. But awesome album. Very, very happy to have that. Next up here, man, I finally got my hands on You God's first record. I don't know why I kept putting this off forever. It's been out of print. It doesn't really go for that much money, but I couldn't pass it up. It was like $5, and I'm like, you know what? I really do dig this album. There's some really dope tracks on here, man. There's a couple misses and stuff, but overall, I actually kind of dig this record, man. It's okay. You God. Yeah, good shit. Next up here, funny story behind this album. So I ordered this album, I think back in December, and it took like 5 months to arrive at my house, and I got a refund like months ago on this because, you know, thought it was lost in the mail. Shows up anyways, and there's Jewel of the Nile, Nice and Smooth's third album. The wait wasn't really worth it because it's actually quite a shitty album. I talked about this one on the podcast too. The first track is pretty cool, man. Return of the Hip Hop Freaks. They sample Schoolie D's PSK. Pretty cool stuff. There's a really fucked up track on here called Save the Children, I think it is, or I think that's what it is. It doesn't even have the features written down. It doesn't say it was written by this artist, but it's actually featuring Everlast. It's very strange, man. I was listening to it, I was like, that's totally Everlast. Not in the credits at all. Very strange. Not a great record by Nice and Smooth, though. But I only paid $3 for it, so whatever. Witch Doctor, a SWAT healing ritual. Finally got my hands on this album. Very, very cool stuff. And actually, I even have a second copy of it. Sent me 2 copies. Go figure. Only paid for one of them. I don't know what the deal was with that. So I'll give that to somebody. Probably one of the homies from the podcast or something. But I love this record, man. This is good stuff. Very, very underrated Organized Noise production. This is an album that just kind of flew underneath the radar. I think it's because of the time it came out. It came out in 1998, which was, you know, a little bit past the whole big Organized Noise explosion with, you know, Goody Mob and, of course, Outkast and shit like that. But this is really underrated. It's a good record, man. I think it's really dope. So give that Witch Doctor record a spin. This album right here, I couldn't pass it up. Never come across this group's albums, ever. Very, very interesting to find in the wild. But UTFO, Bag It and Bone It. Like, look at that fucking album cover. That is the funniest shit. Dog bone and a condom. This album is atrocious. It came out in 1991. It's really fucking bad. Like, UTFO at this time was like, I don't know. They were on that some like pop shit and like real up-tempo beats, and it's just pretty bad. It's pretty fucking bad. It's not like their old 80s stuff, man, at all. Not very good. Next up here we got Funk Dubious with Troubleshooters. Just missing this one from the collection. Re-listened to this one. I like this record, man. I don't think it's as good as their previous work, but it's still really dope, man. Son Doobie's always good on the mic, man. I love his voice. I love his flow. He's got a really awesome flow, man. It's kind of one of those flows that's been duplicated over the years by so many MCs. But good shit, man. The anthem's fucking dope, man. Really, really good shit. Dig that shit. Next up here, man, we got Paris, the Devil Made Me remix. This is basically remixes from his first 2 albums. All recordings from those times. This one came out in 2004, but it is a lot of tracks from, obviously all from that time period. And there's actually a few unreleased tracks here, I think were from the first 2 records, which are kind of cool actually to have. Got this one for really cheap, so I couldn't pass it up. Plus, I'm a really big fan of Paris. I think he's one of the most underrated producers / MCs out there. Thing I like about Paris is that he's very independent. You know, Gorilla Funk Records is his label, and he just likes to do everything himself. Produces other albums for K-Tash and all that type of stuff, and I'm a big fan of Paris, man. Really good shit. I know some people are probably going to laugh at this one, but I'm happy to have this back in the collection because I love the beats on this record. He's not a good rapper, but that Shaq with fucking Shaq Fu Da Return. Love no hooks on here, man. It's awesome. But the production's amazing, man. You know, you got some Warren G production on here, Eric Sermon. It's pretty good, man. Features from, of course, Ill Al Scratch, Redman, Eric Sermon, General Shaw's on here, Mr. Roughneck's awesome, Keith Murray, Warren G, like I said. Pretty interesting beat-wise. Like, all the Shaq's records actually have pretty dope beats and production. His flow cracks me up, but No Hooks is actually why I got this again. Really, really cheap, but I couldn't pass it up. I just couldn't pass it up for 89 cents or whatever it was. Speaking of 89-cent albums, The Mad Rapper, definitely worth the admission just for How to Rob from 50 Cent. 50 Cent's best track he's ever done. I love that track. This album is really shitty. Like, really, really shitty. I listened to this about a month ago again. I was like, man, there's like nothing great about this record at all. It's a lot of pointless, annoying interludes and shit, but just not good stuff on here. It's very disappointing, actually. Should have been a lot better, but yeah. Here's such a fucking hard album, man. I love this record too. The Dayton Family. It's actually called FBI. Yeah, FBI, man. Look at that shit. Good shit, man. Hard as fuck, man. This is some real gangsta ass shit right here. I never owned this album. I'd only heard a couple tracks from the Dayton Family before picking this up, but I remember this thing being advertised in the Source magazine and shit like that way back in the day, and just being like, damn, that just looks hard as fuck, man. Being arrested by the FBI in cuffs and shit. It is, man. The music reflects the album cover for sure. It's pretty good, man. I actually really enjoyed this for some gangster shit. Finally got my hands on this one. I actually really like this group. I don't really know what happened to them, but the Who Riders with Who Riding. Yeah, it's pretty good, man. It's not bad. I mean, I would say it's above average or whatever, but kind of like the beats, man. I just wish these guys had done more stuff with like the Alcoholics and shit like that. I think that their type of styles would have been very, very cohesive. But yeah, the Who Ride is pretty good shit, man. Yeah, it's alright. It's okay. Speaking of pretty subpar records, oh man, I forgot how bad this album is. Goody Mob World Party. Oh man, this is, oh fuck me, man. The production on here is not great, man. Not Organized Noise best outing at all. Yeah, man. I only really care for Goody Mob's first 2 records. I do like their third. Well, this is their third. I think their fourth one's pretty good. Or maybe this is their fourth. I can't remember. But one of those records, not too bad. But this one, not that great. Upgrade from tape to CD. Memphis Bleak, Coming of Age. I really dig the shit out of this album, man. I think it's dope. Memphis Bleak, man, he was one guy that I didn't realize sold as many records as he did, man. He has like a couple gold records. I think like 3 gold records or something. It's fucking nuts, man. Dude was going pretty hot there for a few years and then just flatlined. Like, just fell the fuck off the face of the earth. It's pretty bizarre. But yeah, I like this shit, man. It's actually pretty good. You know, it's generally not my thing, but I dig Memphis on this, man. I think it just comes together quite nicely. Beats and stuff like that. It's got Ja Rule on here. Ugh, it's kind of nasty, but Beanie Siegel, Noriega, and shit like that. Pretty cool. I really dig that record. Grab this one. These next 2 I grabbed because I'm trying to get all the albums that are in the Rap List book, and they basically have like the best albums from like 1979 up into 1998. I'm only missing a handful of records, and this was 2 that I was missing because didn't really want to get these records because I'm not a fan of the rappers, but OCD Me, and that's Yo-Yo. What the hell's the name of this album? You Better Ask Somebody. The production on here is really good, man. Ice Cube did some pretty good production on here. QD3 and shit like that. But but I can't stand Yo-Yo as a rapper, man. She's just like, ugh, she's pretty annoying. It's pretty funny too how hard she came on this, like album cover, everything totally changed up her image. But it was the time this came out though, you know, it was what, 93, 94, that's when everybody was looking like this, you know, kind of thing. But the beats are good. The beats are pretty good on this, but kind of gotta mute the vocals on it. And of course, Missy Elliott was Super Duper Fly. I'm not a big fan of Timbaland's new stuff, but man, his beats on this record, pretty cool shit, man. I really dig Timbaland's older 90s shit, man, surprisingly, but can't get into Missy, man. It's just not my thing at all. But beats are cool, though. Next up here, just one I had to add to the collection. Pretty interesting album, a lot of cool kind of hidden features and stuff on here. Cameos, I guess, or whatever. Ice-T, The Seventh Deadly Sin. I've always been a really big fan of Ice-T, man. It seems like the circle of friends I hang out with, everybody seems to hate Ice-T. I don't know what it is, man. So every time I throw on Ice-T records, if I was doing a mix or doing a set or something like that, people are like, turn the fucking Ice-T off. I'm like, what the fuck is the problem with Ice-T? I don't get it. Yeah, this isn't his best work, but it's pretty good, though. It's actually pretty entertaining. It's Ice-T, man. It's Ice-T. Yeah, I finally finished off this group's discography. I got a couple of their other albums on vinyl, which is pretty cool. But this one's pretty interesting. Mac Daddy. This was just pretty hit and miss. Pretty hit and miss. It's very mature. Fat Boys, actually, by this time. This came out in 1991. Totally different than their early 80s stuff. You know, this is the last stuff they did. It's just Buffy and, what's his name had already left the group by this time. And then Buffy died shortly after this too, but I'm totally blanking on the dude's name that left. But it was just the two of them on this one. Pretty hit and miss with the beats, actually. Some were up-tempo. It's different, man. It's pretty fucked up. But Mac Daddy, couple bucks. Why not? Why not? Third Base, the Cactus Revisited. Basically kind of like a short little EP of remixes and shit like that. And yeah, just stuff like that from the Cactus album. Been after this one actually for a while. I just never grabbed it. Kind of cool though. It's got some different cuts on it and shit. It's all right though. But you know, Third Base. Gotta like some Third Base. Next up here, man, we grabbed. Who the fuck is we? Anticon label sampler from '99 to 2004. This is pretty interesting, man. If you've never really listened to much Anticon stuff, it does give you a pretty good idea of what you're getting yourself into. Not bad though. It's really, really not bad. Like I think Soul's actually really dope. He's got some really good shit on here. Deep Huddle Dynamics is pretty dope. But some of the stuff, man, is like, it's just so indie type, alternate type of hip hop. It's probably not going to be for everybody, but yeah, there's some good shit on here, man. I actually really dug this. Pretty good. And last up for the 90s stuff, I am just ripping through here. We got some All Natural Incorporated, the Anthology, Volume 197 to present. This is basically, yeah, it's kind of like a greatest hits album in a sense. You know, it's got Capital D on here, The Pacifics, Daily Planet, All Natural, of course, things like that. So it's kind of a compilation of like great songs from the label and shit like that. So this is really dope, man. There's some awesome stuff on here. Man, this case is in gross shape. I gotta change out this case. It's real nasty, real fucking nasty. It's all stuck in shit. Ugh. Looks like I jerked off on this thing. But anyways, yeah, this is fucking cool, man. I really dug that. Awesome shit, man. So that is going to do it for the 80s and 90s stuff. Wow, I think that's like the fastest I've ever ripped through that many albums before. But yeah, let's get into this 2000s and a couple brand new ones. Yeah. All right, back in a minute. All right, so we are back with the 2000 stuff and got a couple nice big stacks here of shit. First up here, we got some Craig G from 2003. This is a dope record, man. I never hear anyone talk about this album. You know, Craig G's one of those MCs, one of those cats that his albums seem to kind of come and go. They don't seem to hold a lot of time placement with people. It's weird. They just seem to come and go. But he's really only ever done one kind of bad album. In my opinion, Craig G is one of my favorites of all time. I didn't really like his house record. I'm not into that type of music, but this is really good, man. There's some good production on here, man. We got The Alchemist, we got DJ Premier, we got Knots, we got Rockweiler, Molly Mall, DJ Sage, Large Professor, The Human Orchestra, Domingo, The Beat Miners, Arabian Night. Craig G does production on here. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty damn impressive. We got Large Professor does a Feature on here, Crumb Snatches on here, Mr. Cheeks. Yeah, so you know what you're getting yourself into, man, with all those producers and features and stuff. But this is dope. This is really good. Check it out, man. This is the biggest surprise, man. One of the biggest surprises for myself. I had never heard this album, picked it up for a couple bucks, and that's Capone Noriega's The War Report 2. Man, this is just full of bangers, man. The whole album is really dope, dude. I was like very surprised by this. Raekwon's like on 3 or 4 tracks. We got the Locks on here, Busta Rhymes, but the beats though, really good. Capone and both Noriega. I didn't realize how big of a fan I am of Noriega. Like I like a lot of his stuff, and I've always been a fan of Capone and Noriega. Some of their later stuff a little bit more hit and miss, but this was really damn good. Really good shit, man. Fuck, I was very impressed with this. Bumped this a couple times, so. War Report Dukes, I gotta say, it's probably like one of the best sequel albums. There's so many part 2 to albums that just failed miserably. That one's actually really good. Yeah. Next up here, man, we got Jinsu Dean and Denmark Vesey. The name of the record is Whole Food. Yeah, this one right here I thought was decent. I'm a big fan of Jinsu Dean. I didn't really care for the beats a whole lot on this record, and to be honest, Denmark Vesey was not really my favorite MC. The whole project was pretty mediocre to my liking. It's not bad or anything. It wasn't what I was expecting. But you know, Mellow Music Group seems to put out pretty quality stuff. But you know, it's okay. Check it out if you're a fan. Next up here, man, we got some Common Market, Tobacco Road. These guys are hailing from Pacific Northwest, I believe, around Seattle or something like that. This is just awesome. I absolutely love this record, man. It's so good. Yeah, it's just some really good hip hop, man. It's hard to kind of describe. You kind of have to hear it for yourself, but it's just some solid, like, conscious, really, really dope shit, man. Pretty long record too, as you guys can see there, but yeah, give this a shot, man. It's dope. Really good shit. Next up here, another Common Market record. I believe this one is just, yeah, it's just self-titled Common Market. Again, more of the same type stuff. Just really, really good quality, solid hip-hop. Good beats, good rhymes. Just fun record, man. Something you can throw on and just kind of groove to. Really good stuff. Check out Common Market, man. Those guys are really dope. This is one that I've been after for so long. It's been out of print, and I was so happy to finally knock this off the notebook, scratch this out of the notebook, because I just couldn't find a good price on this one forever, and that's the Loot Pack, the Lost Tapes. Pretty cool stuff, man, because Loot Pack only ever put out the one record, and yeah, this is interesting to hear, like, these Madlib beats and, you know, shit, like, it just, all these alternate tracks and shit, like, it's pretty cool, man. I really dug it, man. It's, I don't know, man, it's kind of like, it almost seems like it's so dusty and like almost non-mixed at times and shit like that, but it's pretty cool, man. I dug it, man. It's awesome. Check that out. Pretty cool stuff if you're a fan of Loot Pack. Here's one that I slept on for so long. I mean, I didn't really sleep on it. I had actually downloaded this album when it first came out because the album dropped and it went out of print so fast. I was like, what the fuck just happened with that? They repressed it. I kind of slept on it again. Just kept forgetting to pick it up. That, I think, went out of print too. And I was like, fuck, man. Finally got my hands on a copy. I paid $12 for it. I was like, fine, I'll pay 12 bucks. And that's Blue and Exile's Below the Heavens. This is such a phenomenal record, top to bottom. It's one of the best albums of the last 10 years, in my opinion. I think it's just so cohesive. Exile's beats are just so fitting for blues flow on here. Awesome samples, really good arrangement in the songs. It's such a soulful sounding record, man. You gotta check this out. Oh, it's really damn good. That's all I can say. Give it a shot. It's awesome. Next up here, man, we got Prodigy with HMIC Part 2, Head Nigga in Charge Part Dukes. This is fucking awesome, man. Really, really dope, man. I was super impressed with this. Hadn't heard this since it came out, which would have been 2008. Kind of forgot about the record, to be honest. Pop this back in. Oh fuck, it's so dope, man. I think DJ Ramos does the beats with Joey Chavez. I think he does all the beats on here. I don't know. Probably says somewhere in here, but it's dope, man. It's really, really dope. Check it out, man. Awesome. Love that record. And then I also grabbed Part 3, which, you know, isn't as good. You know, Sid Ramos only did like one beat on here. Got a couple Alchemist Beat Butch, Young L, which are like the fucking terrible songs on here. But for the most part, this is pretty good. but there is a couple misses. Even T.I. produces a track on here, which actually the song isn't that great, but for the most part, pretty good, man. You know, Prodigy, man, he honestly puts out a lot of quality stuff. And speaking of Prodigy, man, a product of the 80s, Prodigy Big Twins, and Pacina, produced by Sid Rams again. This is really fucking dope, man. I absolutely love the beats on here. Awesome. If you've never heard this, man, check it out, man. You know, I'm not like the biggest fan of Big Twins, to be honest. Like his voice is kind of cool, but it's his flow at times. It just seems off-putting when you hear Prodigy and Pacho on this record. But I don't know, man. It's still really fucking dope. Check it out. Awesome shit. Next up here, man, we got Sway and King Tech present Back to Basics. Back to Basics. Basically just a mixtape, or not like a mixtape, it's kind of like an album, I guess, really. We got Chino XL on here, Royce da 5'9" with more Chino. We got Juice on here. We got Cam, Royce da 5'9", Common, Crooked Eye, lots of Chino XL on here, man. DJ Revolution's on here. We got Crooked Eye, I already say Crooked Eye. Self Scientific. It's not bad. With the lineup, you know, you think it'd probably be a little bit better, but there is some decent tracks on here. It's just, it's not like mind-blowing or anything, but anything, you know, Sway and Tech I'm probably gonna grab, so, but can't beat it. Couple bucks. Why not? Finally got my hands on this. I dig this, man. General Steel presents The American Nightmare Part 2, Children of War. I think the first one might have been digital only, if I'm not mistaken. I can't quite remember. But I dig it, man. I'm a big fan of General Steel, especially shit that he did last year, man. It was so dope, but yeah, Smith & Wesson, man. You know, Steel, fucking good, man. I dug it. This one I did not dig. High Technology 3. I thought this was pretty lackluster, actually. I did not care for High Tech's beats on this record whatsoever. A lot of the features weren't the greatest either. There was a couple decent ones. I think My Piano with Ghostface Killer Raekwon was pretty cool. But that was really about it, man. I didn't really care for a lot of the features. It was a little soft for me, but the beats just weren't cutting it for me. His first two records are really dope, but this one, just not really the greatest. That one will collect dust on the shelf. We got some Kid Koala, Carpal Tunnel Syndrome, very, very strange, kind of experimental beats and shit like that. Definitely not for everybody, part of this Ninja Tune type thing. Yeah, it's very, very strange and odd, but I actually kind of like using this stuff when I'm making mixes because it's just, it fits in, you can always fit it in, it kind of feels like it's like a bonus beat of a track or something. That's how strange it is, man. It's very, very odd, but yeah. Interesting stuff. We got Ghostface Killer and Bad Bad Good Not Good, Sour Soul. I like this record, man, but it's super short, man. There's 12 tracks on here, and I think it only runs like 30 minutes or something. It's crazy short. Few features on here, man. We got Danny Brown, Elzai, Doom. Yeah, we got that Doom Ghostface mashup on here, man. Ray Gun, dope track. This is pretty cool, man. I really dig this, like I said, but it's just too short. It feels like when you listen to this, it's like done. It's like starts and it just ends. It's crazy. But yeah, Ghostface always comes correct, man. He really does, man. He's super consistent. PMD, The Awakening. I didn't have this album for whatever reasons. Finally copped a copy of this, man. Got some pretty cool production on here. You know, we got some dope features on here too, man. We got DOS Effects on here, Cypress Hill, EPMD, of course. Fat Joe, K Solo, pretty cool shit. I know Pete Rock does a couple tracks on here. Pretty interesting, actually. This is the last solo record that PMD did. He did the Goondocks record with the Snow Goons and shit like that. But yeah, man, it was okay. It's okay. It's a decent listen. It's pretty much what, if you heard PMD's other solo efforts, it's very similar, very short, kind of fucking heavy bass tracks and shit. Chaotix, Universal. This is another one I've had in my notebook for such a long time. Out of print album. This is phenomenal. Really, really great record, man. I hear absolutely nobody talk about this one. Probably because no one has even heard of this record. I don't know. But no, I'm fucking happy to get this one. Yeah, 2001 this one came out in, man. It's been in my book for so damn long, man. I'm so happy to get this. Love this. Really great stuff. Chaotix. Good shit, man. Good shit. Picked up this because it was pretty much free. I was like, whatever. But I've always been a big fan of this group. And their later stuff is definitely not the best, but Naughty by Nature's Anthem Incorporated. Some of the tracks on here are pretty laughable. It's such a shame too, man, because like Tretch is such an amazing MC. Super overlooked. People never, ever mention Tretch's name when they're talking about like the dopest MCs, man. He can fucking spit, man. He's really dope, and I love his approach. He kind of sounds hard, but he flows so good, man. He's just got that great voice and shit, man. He's got a lot of dope verses on here. The beats and shit are just pretty shitty, though, but it does have some bonus tracks like Uptown Anthems on here, Hip Hop Ray, OPP, Feel Me Float, Everything's Gonna Be Alright, Ghetto Bastard. Yeah, it is what it is. For the collection, Naughty by Nature, it was pretty bad, actually, but Blue Scholars, the Long March EP. Love me some Blue Scholars, man. I love this group. Another group from the Pacific Northwest, Seattle area, along with Common Market and stuff. Good, though. If you're a fan of Blue Scholars, check it out, man. It's really good. You guys can see these damn white covers, man. Crazy. Next up here, man, we got Sunspot Johns. Don't Let Them Stop You. Man, I think Sunspot Johns is really good, man. He's a good MC, man, and it's kind of one of those albums where it's really long and you kind of have to sit down and really kind of soak in everything because it's super long and stuff, but the guy's quite creative. He's a good MC, man. It's really dope stuff. Just kind of another one of those guys from that massive Living Legends crew. This one was actually put out on Battle Axe Records. Pretty good shit, man, but yeah, if you're a fan of Sunspot, man, you know what you're going to get, because this is very much kind of like his other solo records, too. It's got a lot of solo albums. Oh, I was happy as hell to get this record, man. Finally got this in my hand. Special Team Stereotypes, man. J-Sun, Edo G, Slain, GCO. Yeah. What is it? Yeah, okay. Just seeing what they wrote inside there. But yeah, this is really good, man. Really good. I don't know what the hell took me so long to get this, man. This is ridiculous, man. We got some Sean Price, Buckshot on here. Of course, it's going to be represented, man. This is on Duck Down Records. Devin the Dude. We got Acrobatic. What else is on here, man? We got Ill Bill. Fuck. This is such a good record, man. I love this. I love this, man. Edo G and Slain. This is fucking Boston. This is some real dope Boston hip-hop, man. Don't be sleeping on the shit. Really, really good. Love it. Next up here, man, we got some Kill Army, Fear, Love, and War. I thought this was pretty good. It's not as good as their first couple records, in my opinion. I definitely dug their first couple records more than this one, but it wasn't bad for what it was. I thought it was decent. Like, one feature on here from You God, Fourth Disciple, I think, produced this whole record, so which would kind of make sense. But yeah, so yeah, it's not bad, actually. Yeah. I really fucking love the first couple Kill Army records, man. They're dope. We got some Bun B with Trill. I think this is absolutely amazing, man. Really, really dope shit, man. 2006 this came out, and, you know, like, looking at a record like this, you'd be like, ugh, I don't know if I'm gonna dig this, but I'm a big Rap-A-Lot fan. I love Underground Kings are amazing and shit, but like the features on here, man, are crazy. Of course, Pimp C, you've got Zero on here, Young Jeezy, Jay-Z, Little Kiki, Betty Fresh, Ludacris. A lot of artists I would never generally listen to, but they sound so good on here, man. Production is really good. We got, of course, Too Short Juveniles on here and shit. T.I. Yin Yang Twins, which I can't stand those guys, but this is really good, man. Bun B, this is when Bun B was just peaking. You know, especially in his solo career, man. He was on every single record in like a 2 or 3 year span. It seemed like you couldn't buy an album that didn't have a Bun B verse on it. So he really went to town on these Trill records, but that's Trill, and I picked up Trill too. I'll get the other ones eventually, but this is another really good one too, man. A lot of features. That's my biggest gripe with these records, is that there's almost too many features, man. I just want to hear Bun B, because I think Bun B is really dope, man. I think he executes his rhymes, and he says some really awesome shit, man, but a lot of times he just overshadows his features so much that you're just like, I want to hear more Bun B, so... but yeah, you know, again, this one's just predominantly feature full. I think there's only 1 or 2 tracks on here that actually don't have features, but this is still really good. The first 2 albums, never actually heard anything past for the other. I think he's got 2 or 3 more of those Trill records, but picked up the Snow Goons, Goom Bap. I said I had this one coming in when I did my top albums of last year, and it took forever. It got like delayed and shit, and I only got it a couple months ago, But yeah, Snow Goons, Goom Bap, or maybe I showed this in the last update. I don't even know. If I did, I apologize. But Yeah, this is really dope, man. Really, really good shit. I love the fact that there's an Artifact song on here. It's absolutely amazing, but there's a lot of good shit. I don't want to go through all the features because there is way too many. Every Snow Goons record's like that. You guys know the deal. Production team from Germany. They get a whole pile of amazing underground MCs. Love the track The 90s Are Back on here. It's just amazing. We got OC. We got Do It All from Lords of the Underground. UG from Cellar Dweller, Sticky Fingers, Drez, Nine, Sonny Caesar, fucking Ross Cause, Psycho Les. That is just... You can't get any better than that. That is the 90s, man. Some more Snow Goons here. The Trojan Horse. Again, more or less the same stuff. You know, we got Lord Huss on here. Block McCloud. King Size, which is fucking dope, man. Crumb Snatcher. Signature. Rex. Sabak Red. Shit, man. Who else is on here? Elda Sensei. Craze. Savage Brothers. Like Coca Nostra and Hell to Skelta. Good shit, man. Outer Space. More or less the same stuff. I mean, these guys, it's what they do. Producer records, man. Good shit, though. Good shit. Next up here, man, is an album I actually had heard before. I just never picked up, man. Pretty cool stuff, though, man. Street Life, Street Education. Method Man presents this album. He's all over. He's on like 1, 2, 3 tracks, I guess. Kill of Sins on here. Inspected Deck. Yeah, good shit, man. I enjoyed it, man, for, you know, Wu-Tang affiliate record. Good shit, man. Oh my god. Oh fuck. This album is just... This is probably the worst album I bought in so long. I have no idea. It was like under $1, whatever. It was like, whatever. Goody Mob, Rage Against the Machine. Age Against the Machine. Rage Against the Machine. Age Against the Machine. This is fucking atrocious. I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, man, it's like under $1. How could I go that wrong? Well, I did. I went very, very wrong with this. It's really bad. Really bad. And happy as hell to finally get this in the collection. I don't know what took me so long, but I absolutely love this. Demigods, Apathy, self-titled, reissue, you know, double disc, whatever. Awesome. It's really good stuff, man. Apathy and self-titled are actually on a Canadian tour right now, but they didn't come around my way, which kind of pisses me off because I totally would have went and seen them. 100% would have went and seen them, so that kind of sucks, but it's kind of cool. It's got all the instrumentals to all the tracks on there and shit like that, if you guys can see without that fucking glare there, but you know how it goes. Yeah, great stuff. Really, really great stuff. Now, this was an amazing find. I found out about this group. I think they were on the Port Authority 2 record, and I didn't really know much about them. I especially didn't know that they were Canadian. I just kind of knew the feature. One day I was just kind of searching around and came across this record, and I noticed the production lineup on it, and I was like, oh goddamn. So I started doing some research, found out these guys are Canadian. This has got to be the most American Canadian record ever made, and that of course is First Division. This is unbelievable, man. Basically we have DJ Premier, Marco Polo, Jake One, Kev Brown, Beatwise. It's ridiculous how much good production's on this, and these guys kill it too, man. They're really good MCs too, man. It's like really amazing. Yeah, man. Like, I was just blown away by the production. I think Marco Polo does like 6 or 7 songs on this record. Yeah, who else is on here? DJ Premier, Marco Polo, the Doppelgangers. They do a beat on here too. Just awesome, man. There's a track on here featuring Superstition, Tory, Prince Poe, Rusty Jux. We got Hannibal Stacks on here, who Marco Polo did an entire record with. Minds One. We got fucking Rod Digga. Kev Brown even makes a vocal appearance along with producing Ninth Uno. I mean, this is just jam-packed full of goodness, man. It's really cohesive, really amazing stuff. First Division. Check it out, man. Awesome. If I didn't known it was going to be this good, I probably would have searched out the vinyl list, but that's amazing. Next up here is an album that I probably generally would have never bought if I didn't see this on the Homeboy Steve Immobilarity 1's update. He was doing an update and he talked about this record, because I'm not really a big fan of where this guy comes from, the group, but he made it sound really good. And that, of course, is I-20. He's from Disturbing the Peace. He said it just bangs and bangs, and the way he described it, I was like, man, I gotta check this out, man. This is some really fucking dope shit, man. I was really happily surprised with this record. A couple courses I didn't really care for, but overall, 14 tracks, fucking just bangs, man. Some really good stuff, man. From 2004, good Southern stuff. It's hard as shit too, man. I think that's what kind of separates this guy, like Steve said, from Disturbing the Peace, is that he is a little bit harder, and I don't think he really fit in with that whole crew a little bit. But, you know, to venture out and do your own solo project like this, it was very good. Of course, my case came all jacked up, if you guys can see that fucking every time. But no, I was happy as hell, man. Steve, if you're watching, thanks for the recommendation. This was really good, man. I bumped the shit out of this a few times. Very good record, man. Dig it. Dig it. Good one. Next up here, man, we got Big L, The Danger Zone compilation record. This has got the 8 Enough demo version that's probably worth the admission right there. Of course, with Herb McGruff, you know, Big Twan, Killer Cam, Trooper J, Mike Boogie, Tara. It's fucking awesome. I love that version, man. It's so cool. Yours with OC's on here. True Master, Five Fingers of Death, of course, from the Diamond D album. That's just an amazing track too, man. But it's got the Live in Amsterdam unedited. It's like 22-minute track of just live on stage with AC, Rock Rada, Big L and shit like that. Really good. Cluminati, Herb McGruff, Work Part 2 featuring Gangsta. This is awesome. Pick it up if you're a Big L fan. Next up here is a couple albums by a guy that I've heard songs by in the past. Never picked up any of his albums. He has like 4 or 5 records too, which is very interesting. I never picked up any of these. But first up here, man, Omni, Functified Freddy. This is awesome. A little bit more up-tempo and stuff. It was just surprising to hear this. I didn't know what to expect from listening to a record, but I was really impressed with this, man. I thought it was actually quite good. I'm not sure when this came out, 2000, like mid-2000s or something like that, but very good. Omni, check it out, man. Very good stuff. And then I grabbed this one, Battery. This is another Omni record. Again, more or less the same type of stuff, but really good, man. This guy he was kind of comical. The beats fit his, you know, kind of his style and shit like a lot. So I thought it was really good, man. Yeah, it was good. Good stuff, man. So, yeah. Next up here, we got DJ Revolution, Class of 85. This is a 38-track mix of just songs from 1985. He's got one from 86 and 87, which I don't think 87 was ever pressed up. I have the 86 one. The 87 one I have just kind of made my own copy of it, but fucking awesome. I love some of the blends on here. If you guys can see that, that's a track listing. Pause it if you have to. If you guys can see that, it's good shit, man. It's 1985. It's good, man. I love the Back to the Future samples in this. Really good shit. Awesome. Some Lucky I Am. Here we go, man. Some more Living Legend stuff here. I am a little bit indifferent with Lucky. I think he's one of the weaker members of the crew. I don't know, man. I didn't really dig the beats a whole lot on this record. I think he's pretty decent. The beats, it took me a little bit to get into this, but I don't know. It was okay. It was okay. Next up here, Mike Ladd presents Father Divine. This is really dope, man. Really good shit, man. It's one of these records I remember spinning on my show years ago. I don't know when it came out, in 2005, because I remember getting this up at the studio and always wanted to grab it and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's definitely one of those ones I never hear anyone talk about, but Mike Ladd, good shit. Dan the Automator, Wanna Buy a Monkey? Maybe I do. Mixtape, you know, we got some De La Soul on here. We got Black Rob, shit like that, man. There's some R&B and stuff on here. We got some Bobby Digital, Jig Masters. We got the Executioners, Sadat X. Some good stuff, man. Some pretty cool stuff. So, yeah, Dan the Automator, $2. Not gonna pass though. Can Kick and DJ Choku, Beat Life. It's just a mashup of beats and shit like that. This is really, really damn good. If you're a fan of Can Kick, man, you know what you're getting yourself into with this. Very kind of laid back, boom bappy, dusty beats and shit like that, but it's awesome. Really, really good shit. Happy to get that in the collection. Picked up the Jig Masters record, Resurgence, from last year, or was it last year? Yeah, 2016. I gotta say, man, I was a little bit disappointed with this, man. I love the Jig Masters record from years ago. I think it's really good. This one just felt like, you know, after having such a long break, it didn't feel like it was that great. Like it felt kind of rushed, to be honest. And like there's only 10. Yeah, there's 10 tracks on here, so there's actually only 8 songs, like an intro and outro, which is very disappointing and stuff. I mean, it's not bad or anything. I was definitely let down by this. Where's the Can't remember. Shit. But yeah, anyways, I don't know, man. I know DJ Spin has done better stuff than this in the past, but I don't know. It was okay. Next up here, man, is Supernatural Spit. This was a big surprise, man. There's some really good shit on here. I was like pleasantly surprised by this. Some cool features, man. We got Raekwon, Charlie Tuna's on here. We got Be Real. And I think the biggest surprise on this record was the production. We got some Jake One, Marco Polo, DJ Muggs, DJ Noise, Vitamin D, Bean One, DJ Cahill, DJ Rekmatic, Evidence with scratches by DJ Babu. Yeah, the production was really good. And I thought Supernatural killed it on this record. I'm kind of ashamed that I'd never heard this before until recently. I mean, this came out in 2005, 17 years later. What the fuck math is that? But yeah, good shit, man. Really good stuff. Really enjoyed that one. So I had to grab this one, Supernatural Lost Freestyle Files. Again, you know, it's like, you know, stuff, battles like Supernatural versus Craig G versus Juice. Supernatural opens for the Clan. We got, there's a couple songs on here too. We got some Stretch of Bobbito stuff on here, which is pretty interesting. It's just kind of cool to have these archived and things that you generally would not go after on unless they're put on like a whole compilation like this. But pretty cool stuff, man. Really dug that. Sadat X, The State of New York versus Derek Murphy, the EP. Odd, never had this. I used to actually have this on vinyl. But I sold it back in the day. You guys would probably know the story. I sold my shit off, blah, blah, blah. I regret it. I'm fucking retarded. Yeah, man. I dig it, man. I'm a big Sadat X fan. I always have been. Just, I never rebought this. I don't know. Don't know why I didn't, but... Are we going to have another accident here? I don't know. Maybe. What do we got left for time here? T-Cash, Turf War Syndrome, all produced by Paris. I was talking with T-Cash a little bit earlier. I feel like T-Cash is a lot better than this. I think he came pretty correct with pretty good with the rhymes and stuff. I felt like Paris's production wasn't his best. It felt like leftover Paris beats. I don't know, man. I wasn't overly impressed with this, but it is pretty decent. T-Cash, of course, was from the Coop and stuff like that. But I do like his political angle and stuff like that. Of course, that's what you get when you're on Gorilla Funk Records and stuff. But, I mean, there was some good stuff on here. It's not Paris's best production. But it's still pretty damn good, though. Next up here, man, we got Prince Poe, The Slickness. I absolutely love this album. I can't believe I never had this in the collection. This is ridiculous that I didn't have this on here. Yeah, man, we got Danger Mouse on here, Madlib, J-Zone. Ugh. Quan, MF Doom, Gemini, J-Zone. Oh, man, it's so dope. This is awesome. Don't know what took me so long to grab this record. Just in the notebook, man. It's just pages of shit, man. We got Prophets of Rage, The Party's Over single. I guess it's got Prophets of Rage, The Party's Over, and a couple live tracks of Killing in the Name from Rage. Of course, Shut 'Em Down, and No Sleep Till Cleveland. Yes. This was $1.50. Still sealed, HMV clear out sale. So I was like, whatever, I gotta grab this. I think originally they wanted like $10 for that. I was like, Jesus Christ, who the fuck's gonna pay $10? Next up here, man, we got E40, the D-Boy Diary Book 2. I don't have Book 1 yet, but because I got this one for pretty much free. It was crazy. I think there was a pricing mistake on this or some shit, but I still got to get the first one. Everybody knows I'm a big E40 fan. There is some songs on here that made me shit myself laughing. It is actually so bad and cheesy that I was laughing out loud at some of this shit. E40's a weird guy, and he kind of gets away with it with me. Anyone else, I'd be just like, that's trash, but E40 just kind of does it for me. It's so funny. Most people would absolutely hate this record, but it is what it is. All right. Beer time. All right, moving along here with 2000 stuff. We got Idea and Abilities by the Point. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I didn't really care for this, to be honest. By the Throat. Did I say By the Point? By the Throat it's called. It's not really their best work, man. Rest in peace to Idea. I don't know, man. I wasn't really feeling this one, man, for some reason. I do like some of their other work and stuff, but this one, I don't know, man. I don't know. This one, I slept the motherfuck on. I will admit, I slept the shit on this album. I remember seeing this around so many times, and I never copped it for whatever reason. But this is really damn dope, man. North Star. How in the fuck did I not pick this up before, man? I'm just like shooting myself, punching myself over this one. This was fucking dope. This was really good, man. I was like, damn. I don't know why I never picked this up, but check out North Star, man. Executive produced by the Rizzo. I think he did some production on here. I can't quite remember, but it's awesome. It's awesome. Really good shit. This was a weird release. I didn't even know this existed, but who reframed the A-Team? Yeah, it's like a reissue of Who Framed the A-Team. But the weird thing is, some of the songs from the original album are on here. There's some alternate songs on here, and then there's a couple like songs from their personal albums and shit. Like I think B-Boy Real McCoy's on here from AC Alone. What? This album made no sense to me. I found this at my homeboy's shop, and I was like, "What the hell is that, dude?" He's like, "I don't know, man." He's like, "I thought you would know," and I was like, I'm not 100% sure. I didn't even know this existed, but I had to grab it because it was so strange. But it was worth it. There was a couple tracks in there I didn't have, so whatever. Next up here, man, we got the Public Enemy Paris remix of A Nation. I love the album, and the remix is more or less just goodness, man. Public Enemy in Paris. How can you get any more political than that? East and West. It's awesome, man. I think Chuck D sounds amazing on these beats, man. He really does. Paris is awesome on here too. But really good stuff, man. Awesome. I finally got this remix album. Yes. Speaking of very oddity albums, but Public Enemy Beats in Places didn't even have this one in the collection. It's like a compilation of a whole pile of like B-sides and just random songs and shit like that. There's actually some pretty good stuff on here. I was actually quite impressed with this. The Flavor Flav show is freaking ridiculous, but some pretty good stuff on here, man. I think it was like Air Conditioning and Who's Your Hero and shit. It was actually pretty good, man. I was like, damn, not bad. The Shapeshifters was here. I think was here. This album right here, man, 20 tracks. 20 tracks. And I think this album runs like 79 minutes and like 50 seconds. It might be, I think this is the second longest album in my entire collection. I think the longest one I have is Masterpiece Ice Cream Man, which when you pop it in, it actually says 80 minutes and like 10 seconds. I don't know how it's possible considering you're not supposed to be able to get over 80 minutes on an album. But this is like 79, almost 80 minutes. It's crazy long, crazy long. It's pretty good, to be honest. It's just way too long. It feels like you're watching a movie when you're listening to this, but it's okay. It's okay. This is pretty cool, man. Razel's Greatest Knockouts. This is mixed by DJJS1. I think originally this was actually a free download and they pressed it up or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, it's Razel, freestyles, you know, whole pile of just beatboxing and shit like that. Pretty cool stuff, man. I love listening to this. I love throwing these tracks into mixes and shit. Pretty fun. Yeah, man. It's Razel, man. Greatest Knockouts. Baby. Yeah. And Rakim, Live and Lost and Found, The Archive. So there was like 4 new songs on here. Hip Hop, Love for Sale, Word on the Street, It's Nothing, and then a bunch of Eric B and Rakim stuff and a few of his own joints and things like that. I think the songs, yeah, the first 2 were produced by 3. You know what? The first 3 are produced by Nick Wiz and the other one's DJ Static. So that's pretty cool, man, that they put some of the Nick Wiz stuff on here. Pretty interesting. Not bad, but it's basically a greatest hits album with some bonus tracks and stuff. And then we got DJ Vadim, USSR, Tape, this one right here. Man, I love DJ Vadim from Russia. We got Vakil on here, which I think is just, he's so sick, man. Motion Man's on here, Gifted Gab, a whole pile of shit, man. Very awesome. I fucking dig that shit, man. I dig it. So cool. So that's it for the 2000 records. Holy shit. That was a fucking, look how many albums. Jesus Christ, I got a fucking problem, man. Ridiculous. All right, let's get into this very, very small stack of 2017 releases. First up, man, we got OC, Same Moon, Same Sun. Yeah, getting dusty sitting there. We reviewed this one on the podcast, so if you haven't checked out Disposable Arts, check it out. I got this one on vinyl also. I might have showed this last, I don't think I did. No, I did, I couldn't have. But yeah, I'll show the vinyl when the time comes, but they're actually different. The CD version has 2 different songs. has 2 more songs than the vinyl version, which is interesting. Vinyl version is the one that we reviewed. But yeah, they had a deal going on DITC where you could get the CD and the vinyl for like $26, and I was like, holy fuck, that's a good deal. This album's amazing. Top 10 material for myself right now. Everybody knows I'm such a huge fan of OC, but it's really good, man. Lyric-wise, beat-wise, everything's really good. This is a really dope album too. 7 Odds, Calamity. Oh my god, I cannot fucking talk. Calamity, BBC Darney all produce this. The 7 Odds crew, basically just 11 tracks on here. It's all their crew on random songs. I think BBC Darney, my homeboy Dan, killed the production on this record, man. I was talking with Dan, BBC Darney one night, and I said, dude, like, so sick, man. Guy's producing so much amazing shit. I can't wait for the new U-Mang record to come out. So far, what we've heard has been really, really amazing. They got an unreleased album coming out. BBC Darney is like the hardest working producer right now. He's putting out shit left and right. Awesome stuff. If you liked what you've heard in the past from BBC Darney, you know what you're gonna get beat-wise. I think his production is getting better. He's flipping samples and he's getting a little more creative with his beats and stuff. They're not as simple. He's digging for shit, man. Good stuff. Really enjoyed the MCs on here, man. Dream Tech, Cleaver One, Doomsday, Roy Hobbs. There's lots of good stuff on here. Basically these cats. Check this album out. Really dug it. It's awesome. Camp Low, On the Way Uptown, the Uptown Saturday Night demo. Pretty cool, man. I got first demo and we got the Saturday Night demo on here. Fucking awesome. I've really dug this, man. This is really good shit. Huge fan of Camp Low, man. These guys just don't get the credit they just don't get the credit, man. So this is awesome. Check it out. Good shit. This one right here, what is this? Primal Winds. I don't know, man. I was like kind of indifferent on this one. Album cover, I got this sent to me. Yeah, dude, I don't know about this. I was kind of digging it. I think some of the beats are pretty good on here. The MC, not really my favorite in the world at all. I gotta revisit this though. And then last up, the big item. Not the big item. Really wanted to get this on vinyl. But the vinyl was just so expensive. It would have cost me probably $150 to get it in. Said, fuck that. I was down at my homeboy's shop the other day. He got the tape version. I was like, that's cool, man. That's really cool. But I did pick it up, end of the stage, the Black Moon 3-disc special edition. Pretty fucking cool, man. Very happy to have this. One of my favorite albums of all time. And it's good, man. It's good. I really wanted the vinyl, man. Here's the booklet. Pretty cool stuff. Here's the album. They come in these little things. Here's the remixes, which is totally awesome. And then we got the instrumentals, which is awesome. Yeah, really good stuff, man. I think I might even go down there. If he still has that tape edition, I might just pick it up from him just to have it. Just hoarding, I guess, but don't really need to get that. But anyways, guys, that is going to do it for the update. Like I said, stay tuned for the vinyl update. I picked up probably 100 records in the last few months, man. So I think what I'll do is I'll do just small updates. I'll probably show 5 or 6 off at a time, talk about them a little bit, and just kind of do it like that instead of hoarding up and showing 500 albums in one update. Or else I'm just talking like this. I'm not talking about anything. But I really wanted to get this out of the way so I can put them on the shelves. And yeah, we'll get into those vinyl. I picked up lots of good shit, man. Really, tons of really good stuff. So stay on deck for that, and I'll be back with you guys sooner than later with another update. Check out episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of Disposable Arts. It's pretty awesome shit. Episode 6 is going to be coming up in a couple weeks, so stay tuned for that. And that is it. I'm out of here. Peace! Baby.